The Kepler Station educational complex buzzed with the familiar chaos of recess, though familiar was a relative term when dealing with 17 different species of sentient beings. Marcus Thompson dodged between towering Vraxian younglings and skittered around a cluster of crystalline Zephirites, their bodies chiming melodically as they played some incomprehensible game involving light refraction. At 12 years old, Marcus was one of only 37 human children aboard the station, making him something of a curiosity among his alien classmates. Most were friendly enough, but there were always exceptions to every rule. "Hey, soft skin!" The voice boomed from behind, causing several nearby students to scatter. Marcus turned to face Crux, a juvenile Thracani whose species resembled a cross between a rhinoceros and a gorilla, complete with chitinous armor plating and arms thick as tree trunks. At nearly 7 feet tall, Crux towered over most students, using his size to intimidate anyone who crossed his path. "Leave me alone, Crux," Marcus said calmly, adjusting his backpack straps. His voice carried none of the fear the Thracani expected, which only seemed to irritate the alien bully further. "You think you're better than us, don't you?" Crux's mandibles clicked aggressively. "Your pathetic species can't even grow proper armor. You're all just walking meat bags." A crowd was beginning to gather, students from various species forming a loose circle around the confrontation. Marcus noticed Professor Yyleth, a tall Andromedian with 4 arms, moving toward them through the crowd, but she was still several meters away. "I never said I was better than anyone," Marcus replied, taking a small step backward. "I just want to finish my homework before next period." Crux's laugh sounded like grinding stone. "Homework? Let me help you with that." Without warning, the massive alien lunged forward and grabbed Marcus by the shoulders, lifting him clean off the ground with one enormous hand. That was his first mistake. The moment Crux's claws made contact with Marcus's jacket, a sharp electrical discharge crackled between them. The Thracani roared in surprise and pain, but his grip tightened reflexively, triggering the jacket's secondary defense system. A high-pitched whine filled the air as the microcapacitors in Marcus's clothing activated. What looked like an ordinary school uniform was actually a sophisticated piece of human engineering, designed specifically for environments where their children might encounter species with vastly superior physical capabilities. The neural disruptor field expanded outward from Marcus in a perfect sphere, calibrated to interfere with the electrical impulses in most known alien nervous systems while remaining harmless to human physiology. Crux's eyes rolled back as his motor function ceased, and he toppled backward like a felled tree, releasing Marcus in the process. The human boy landed gracefully, his shoes automatically adjusting their grip coefficient to prevent slipping. Around them, other students backed away in alarm as Crux convulsed on the ground, his armored plates clattering against the metal deck. "Medical emergency in Recreation Sector 7, Marcus said clearly, activating his comm implant. His voice remained steady despite the chaos around him. "Thracani student experiencing neural disruption. Requesting immediate assistance." Professor Yyleth finally reached them, her 4 arms moving in complex patterns as she began scanning Crux with a handheld medical device. "What happened here?" she demanded. "Crux grabbed me," Marcus explained simply. "My defensive systems activated automatically." The Andromedian's compound eyes fixed on him with newfound respect. "Defensive systems?" Marcus nodded toward his still-twitching classmate. "Humans don't have natural armor, or claws, or telepathic abilities. But we're really good at building things to compensate." He paused as medical personnel arrived and began attending to Crux. "The neural disruptor will wear off in about 10 minutes. He'll have a headache for a while, but no permanent damage." As the medical team carried Crux away on a hovering stretcher, the crowd of students slowly dispersed, many of them viewing the small human with entirely new eyes. Word would spread quickly through the station's gossip networks. The seemingly defenseless human children were anything but helpless. Professor Yalleth placed one of her hands gently on Marcus's shoulder, careful not to trigger his defensive systems again. "Perhaps it's time we added a new section to our interspecies relations curriculum," she said thoughtfully. Marcus smiled and shouldered his backpack. "Probably a good idea. Can I go finish my homework now?" The Andromedian's mandibles clicked in what her species considered laughter. "Of course, Mr. Thompson. Try not to electrocute anyone else today." "I'll do my best," Marcus replied, walking away with the casual confidence of someone who knew that sometimes the best defense was simply being underestimated.